No. Oh God. Oh God. Oh, oh no. Oh God. Poor Kanzashi. Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and this is my review for Infinite Stratos 2, Episode 8. Now, this one starts off with Kanzashi. She's working on her IS, and once she ends up finishing for the night, she leaves, but Ichika's right there waiting for her. And he's trying to get her to partner with him again. He didn't let the rejection from last episode hold him back. He just kept trying. So good for him. Kudos. But she ends up asking him, why do you want to be my partner so badly? And if I were him, I would have said something along the lines of, the only first year personal IS owner that I don't know, so I wanted to get to know you better. That's, I mean, if you say it like that, it might come off as I want to be in a relationship with you, but I'm not sure he could find a way to phrase it better, but no, I would have said something along those lines. But he doesn't say that. Instead, he ends up saying, I want to partner with you because I want to see your IS. And not only is that a stupid reason to want to partner with her, because you'll see it anyway. You'll see it in the tournament, whether you partner with her or not. But it's also a stupid reason because he's the reason for her IS not running. And she realizes that. She realizes how stupid he is for saying that, and she just lets her emotions take over, and she slaps him. Because that's not something she would do. Because as we learned from last episode, when she said she wasn't going to punch him, and as we learned later on, a couple minutes later from Tatanashi, how she doesn't like doing anything unproductive. It's not like her to go up to actually hit somebody. So she let her emotions take over, and she was just ticked off because Ichika's an idiot and he doesn't think before he speaks. But after this, we see Ichika in his room. He's looking through members of the maintenance crew, I guess I'll call it. And the first person on the screen is actually a member of the student council. Throughout the season, I've wanted to see members of the student council, and all I've gotten to see are Tatanashi and Ichika, which they haven't even revealed that Ichika's the vice president of the student council yet, but which they're probably never going to do. But there are actually still two more members, Nohohon and Utsuho, and we finally get to see one of them, Nohohon. Her real, that's a nickname. Her full name is Nohotoke Hone, and we get to see her for the first time for a split second here. So that actually caught me by surprise. But they didn't actually announce that she was a member of the student council, just like for Ichika. But still, I got to see her, so I'm happy about that. But Tatsunashi shows up in his room, and she asks him why he's looking up, all these maintenance girls, and he tells her that he's doing it so that he can get them to help Kanzashi out with her IS. And Tatsunashi tells him, Kanzashi, she wants to complete her IS on her own because Tatanashi completed her IS on her own, and Kanzashi wants to show that she's just as good as her sister, so she wants to do it that way. So technically, like Tatsunashi points out in the episode, she did have a little bit of help. But what are you gonna do, right? But after this scene, we see all of the main girls. First, we start off with Cecilia. She's doing some shooting training. She's really good. She hits all the targets right in the middle, and she's not happy. She's mad that Ichigo didn't choose her, and she wants to take him out. Same goes for Rin. Char, on the other hand, she's trained too, and she's a really good shot as well. I was very impressed. But she's the only girl that doesn't mention violence at all in her few seconds of talk of speech. All she says is, Ichigo, I'm a formidable opponent, and that's it. So I like that. But after that, we see Laura. She's the complete opposite of Char. She says, I'm going to show you true terror, you know. And she's sharpening her knife and everything. There was a little bit of a funny scene in here where she sees Ichigo's image in the locker and throws her knife at it. Turns out she hit her own locker, and she hit the picture of Ichigo that she has inside the locker. Then she started freaking out, and all of her knives, all of her dozens and dozens of knives fell on top of her. I don't know why she has that many. She doesn't need that many, but whatever. So that was kind of funny. And after that, we see Hoki, who was also good in this scene, because seeing as though Ichigo isn't her partner, it obviously means that he's going to be her opponent, someone who she's going to have to beat, unless technically it's a tournament. So I mean, she doesn't have to fight him. They could be on different sides of the bracket and end up not facing each other. The point is that she has to be prepared to fight him, and she realizes that, and she says, Ichigo, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to be merciful. I'm going to beat you as quickly as possible so that you don't suffer. And I like that. I did, because she's showing that she's disappointed that Ichigo's not partnering with her, but at the same time, she's not pissed to the point where she's going to try and kill him like Cecilia and Rin and Laura. So, Char always looks good, but Hoki's been looking pretty good the last couple of episodes as well. So that's pretty cool. But while she's about to start training, and Tatsunashi comes in, and she actually asks Hoki if she can partner up with her. And I don't know if the first season mentioned this or not, but Tatsunashi ends up getting some data from Hoki, and it turns out that Hoki went from a C rank pilot to an S rank pilot. And I'm assuming that the majority of that increase in rank is due to the fact that she got a personal IS from Tabane. But I'm sure that some of that increase is due to an actual change in her skill. I'm sure that after all this time she's improved, But after this scene, we end up seeing all the other girls again, except for Hoki. Ichigo's actually looking for Kanzashi, and Cecilia and Rin are not happy to see. Well, they're happy to see him until he asks them about Kanzashi. Then they're not happy to see him. They're not pleased at all. Then Char and Laura show up. They're not pleased either. Normally, Char calls him Ichigo, and I don't think she uses honorifics either. But this time, instead of calling him Ichigo, she calls him Orimura-kun. So she's clearly not happy. So after that, he ends up leaving, and we see where Kanzashi actually is, and she's about to do some field tests with her IS. I think its name is Uchigane Nishiki. Uchigane Nishiki. But she flies up in the air. She's testing some stuff out. And at first, everything's good. Everything's good, but in the end, the thrust compensation ends up failing, and Ichigo ends up finding her right before that happens. So he activates Byakushiki and flies after her, and she ends up diving, down to the ground because the thrusters and things are failing, and he manages to catch her before she hits the ground. So, she wouldn't have died because she was in her IS, and they have shields and things like that, but she still would have been injured. So Ichigo ended up acting as a cushion and just absorbing most of the impact and most of the pain from that. So good for him. And after he does that, Kanzashi's opinion of him becomes more positive, which is natural. If someone risks their own well-being in order to help you out, it's only natural that you, even if you hated them before, it's only natural that you hate them less after that, because they put their body on the line just to help you out, even though they know that you don't like them. They're assuming that you probably won't be grateful, yet they still do it anyway. So it's only natural that your opinion of them gets more positive after that. But after this, they end up eating together, and there's actually a point where Ichika feeds Kanzashi, and I saw that scene, and I just started to laugh because I thought, like, I assume, I thought that Rin or Cecilia or Laura or one of the girls would just so happen to be there in the cafeteria and see it. So I thought that Ichigo was gonna have some knives in his back or bullets flying at him or something. But it didn't happen. He got lucky. He got lucky. But the next day, I'm assuming it's the next day, though maybe it's just later in that day. Kanzashi's in class and she's daydreaming, and we know that she likes heroes. We saw her last episode and this episode looking at clips of this hero anime, and she wants to find her own hero. And and in this daydream, she ends up viewing Ichika as that hero. And Ichika, the real Ichika, ends up walking up to her and asking her to be his partner again. And she says yes to the daydream Ichika, but she actually says it out loud. So she ends up saying yes to the real Ichika. And that was kind of an interesting scene. But he ends up hearing her say yes, and he thinks that she's saying it to him. So he pulls her by the hand and brings her to I forgot what the place was, but they end up registering as a team. And at that point, Kanzashi, she doesn't exactly fight it. So even if she wasn't daydreaming, she still probably would have said yes anyway. But after this scene, we see this scene with Hoki and Takanashi. I guess they were training or something, practicing, and they're gonna go take a shower. And I really liked this scene. I thought it was really good, and not just because of the fan service. Actually, I thought this was good because it was just for the rest of this episode. Actually, it's just this theme of older sisters and younger siblings. And Tatsunashi and Hoki, their situations are really similar, and you don't really think about it that much until this point in the episode. You don't really think about it. But then it's kind of just not revealed to you. It's not like it was a secret or anything, but it's actually brought up and addressed how Tatsunashi, she's this older sister who wants to have a relationship with her younger sister, but her younger sister's feeling of inferiority is keeping that from happening. And with Hoki, she's on the opposite side of the situation. She is the younger sister who feels inferior. And Tabane, she wants to have a relationship with Hoki, but she can't because Hoki feels inferior, and it's kind of just blocking her out, kind of. So it was interesting to see those two interact and talk, and have Tatsunashi just give advice to Hoki because she knows exactly how Tabane feels. And she even says at some point, Tabane does care about you, and she's just giving her advice. And I just thought the scene was really nice. Later on, Tatsunashi ends up talking to Ichika about something similar because while Ichika does have an older sister in Chifuyu, their relationship is actually really, really good. Ichika genuinely cares for Chifuyu, and Chifuyu genuinely cares for Ichika. And Chifuyu is hard on him a lot of the time, but that's just because she wants him. She's just paying special attention to him because she wants him to succeed. She wants him to know what it is she's teaching so that he can protect himself. That way, if she's not there to protect him, he won't be hurt or worse, killed. Because let's not forget, Monica just tried to kill him a couple episodes ago. So she just wants Ichika to be safe, and she genuinely cares for him. And I don't know if you guys saw the OVAs for the first season, but seeing Chifuyu and Ichika react outside of school, it's completely different. Ichika's practically a housewife, and the way they interacted at their house was just interesting. Chifuyu ends up talking with Maya Yamada later on in the OVA, and well, actually, she's talking to her. Plus, earlier she ends up talking to the main girls too, and she ends up telling them that if you want, I'm not gonna just let you take Ichigo away from me that easily, which is you don't expect someone like Chifuyu to say a line like that. So she doesn't really show it in school, but she does care about him and she doesn't want to lose him. You know, even if you look at the second Mondo Grosso, she gave up the title just to go protect Ichika. So time and time and time again, Fuyu proves that she does genuinely care for him, and Tatsunashi kind of just lets Ichika know it in this scene. But after the shower stuff with Hoki and Tatsunashi is over, we end up going to Ichika and Kanzashi again, and he actually manages to convince her to actually get the maintenance girls to help out with her IS. And seeing the maintenance girls means seeing Nohon again. We get to see her sleeves, hear her voice, hear her call Ichika Orimu. We get to see her in action. And I enjoyed it. I really did. I'm not gonna get my hopes up and assume that we're gonna see Utsuho as well, but still, just saying Nohon was nice. So for now, I'm happy. For now, I'm satisfied. But we see her and a few other maintenance girls working on Kanzashi's IS, and they end up finishing. So that's good. They're gonna be ready for the tournament, which is probably gonna happen like in two. I'd assume 2 episodes, but Ichika ends up going back to his room for the night because he's tired, because he's been running back and forth getting the girls what they needed. And Tatsunashi's in his room, and that's when they have that conversation about Chifuyu and their relationship and everything like that. And after that, we see Kanzashi. She's walking to Ichika's room to give him muffins. I'm assuming as a thank you for everything he's done for her lately. But she ends up seeing Tatsunashi come out of his room, and this scene was tough to watch because you could tell that Kanzashi really did start to like Ichika and care about him. And seeing the guy that you just developed feelings for walk out of his room with your sister around his arm, and not only was Tatsunashi holding onto his arm, but she didn't have pants on, and her shirt was like unbuttoned down to here, and it gives off the wrong impression, and I'm sure that hurt Kanzashi a lot to see that. Not only that, but after listening to what they said, she learns that Ichika decided to partner up with her because Tatsunashi asked him to. Everything that's happened is because of Tatsunashi, and this doesn't help at all because she's got that inferiority complex. The one thing she didn't want to do was to have Tatsunashi help her out with her IS. She wanted to catch up to her on her own, but she ended up accepting help from Ichika and the maintenance girls. But even then, at least it wasn't Tatsunashi. But now she can't even say that. She can't even consider it a victory if she manages to catch up to Tatsunashi, because Tatsunashi literally helped her. She literally carried her up to her level, and it's just, she feels betrayed, and she's just heartbroken. And we see her run off to her room, and she just breaks down. and it's just really tough to watch. It's really sad. And that's how the episode ends too, so just a really sad way to end the episode. I feel bad for her. But even though the episode ends on a sad note, it was still a good episode because Kanzashi got enough development where we could actually care about her. There was that good scene at the end. There was the little mini theme for the second half of the episode about the whole older sister, younger sibling thing. Plus, I got to see Nohon, so overall, I'd say this was a really good episode. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10. But that's it for this review. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.